All right, well, welcome back. I told you guys that, let me put this on silent. I told you that I was going to be trying to connect more dots on this whole situation. Now, once again, let me bring you up to speed from the last video that I posted Tuesday or something like that. I am not saying there is no coronavirus. I am not saying that people are not dying from it, but I am saying that they're fudging the numbers because more and more doctors are coming out trying to, I guess, blow the whistle or whatever. So anyway, I'm going to just jump into this. Y'all know I don't do too well with, what's that thing? Script. So let me go ahead and start sharing my screen. I have a bunch of stuff up. I just want to try to go at it in a linear fashion. All right. Okay. So I believe I am sharing my screen. Now, I don't know if you guys remember this movie. This was my very favorite movie back when I was growing up. I was born in '82, but by the time it was the '90s, Saturday morning was the best. Anyway, so sad that we'll never go back to those times. That's it. Like, this is it, guys. That little pebble that was up on the hill and started rolling and picking up twigs and mud and all that kind of stuff is snowballed, only it's not made out of snow or dirt. It's made out of the car, number 2. All right, so in this movie, this gentleman here, Roddy Piper, which was he passed away from stomach cancer. He produced this movie, I want to say, but he doesn't call it a movie. He calls it a documentary. You can go back and just put, you know, I think he was on the Jones show, Alex Jones show, and you know, he said that the movie is in the form of a movie, but it's really a documentary. And like, just remove these ugly looking aliens and just put the elites, because that's what it is. And I find myself today trying to wake up my friends, and my own friends are trying to fight me, and I'm just trying for them to see and put on the glasses, put on the eyes that Jesus tells us to have eyes to see and ears to hear. Like, this is the longest fight scene, I believe, in all of the movies.
You couldn't even say your own.
Like, all of this just to have him put on the dang glasses.
You a choice.
See, they're still fighting.
I have to put on these glasses or start eating that trash.
Let me find. Okay, so they're fighting. I really love this fight scene. And finally, he forces him to put on the glasses so that he can see what really is going on.
Look at him, they're everywhere.
I have one that can see. And look, they talking into them wrist things. We can do that today. I don't have this is the closest thing to a smartwatch that I have. I really want, anyway, whatever. I want one, but just because I love Power Rangers, for those of you that don't know, that's not the point right now. So this is what I'm coming up against when I try to tell my friends, my coworkers, and my family that this is all just a ploy. Not all of my family members, because we're pretty much all woke. My mom, my dad, my sisters, to my uncle that lives down the block. But we all can see what's going on. But when I try to talk to people that are my friends and family that consider themselves to be my family, though they're not like blood related, and you fight me for what? Because okay, this is what I have kind of deduced. If I try to tell you the truth and you wake up, what do you do now? You can't unsee. Like this guy, he can't unsee. If you actually go and watch the full movie, which I highly recommend because it's super dope. For the rest of the movie, he's just like, ay, Dios mío, like, what do I do now? Like, what do I do now? Do I act like I didn't see what just happened? Or do I fight? But if I have to fight, then what does that mean to my life? Anyway, it's a good movie. You should probably watch it. So I just want to remind you guys about this article by Dr. Fauci, which, by the way, I just learned that he has been friends with Bill Gates and all them peoples since like before I was a baby's, like probably a fetus, or maybe just an egg in my mommy and the spermatilis in my dad. So just want to remind you, okay, you can see here that this is the doctor. And if I copy this and go over here, because you know I got to give you the facts, I'm not lying to you, all right? This is the same doctor that be standing next to the Trumpster and all them folks. Look at him with George Bush. Don't matter if it's senior or junior, they're all, anyway. So in this area right here, just want to remind you guys that I said this in my last video. He's writing about the COVID, which once again was, I believe he wrote this in February and it was published of this year in March. So he says, this suggests that the overall clinical consequences of COVID-19 may ultimately be more akin to those of a severe seasonal influenza. And these common things, I think that's what it's called. Y'all know, hooked on phonics didn't work for me. I don't know the name of them things. Colon, semicolon, well, I don't know. Which has a case fatality rate of approximately 0.1%. Then he goes on to say that the SARS and the MERS is 9 to 10%, and even in some cases 36%. So why are they telling us that so many people are gonna die and this, that, and the third? And I don't know anyone who has COVID. I look out the window, everybody is fine. This rabbit hole goes so deep. And if I go right here, if you go to this gentleman's YouTube channel, he's an actual doctor, okay? And now, again, because we always have to do our due diligence, don't just because somebody's on YouTube claiming to be a doctor, this is what Jesus said, you know, make sure that nobody deceives you. So that means that if I hear anything, I have to make sure that I'm vetting everything. So this guy is in fact a doctor. He was born in England, okay, but he's here in the States. He has written books. He's been on countless YouTube news channels. I think he's been on TV shows. I don't know, because I just stumbled across him today, so I can't really speak on him a lot. But you see his specialty and subspecialties is emergency medicine and medical toxology. So that's what I'm talking about. Just because you hear it or see it on TV, or I'm telling you, or your mother's cousin's brother's sister's dog's groomer, or the dog, I don't know, tells you, you have to check so that you're not gullible. Like I said before, I used to believe everything. Remember when your mom said, oh, that you eat that grape with the seed in there? You're going to get a plant in there. I believed it. I was chewing gum and I swallowed it. My older sister, oh, that's going to stay in your belly for 7 years. 7 years? Until I grew up and realized that the freaking acid in our stomach could, anyway, I'll say all that just to say you got to make sure you vet your sources. So this gentleman, you can go on this video right here. It's called Part 2 of 4, Time to Wake Up by Dr. Rashid A. Battar. Okay? Just watch it. It's going to be in the description. If you want an ostrich and put your head in the, matter of fact, let me see if ostriches do keep their heads in the sand. No, I'll do that on my own time. Anyway, so this gentleman is saying how, like, there's just so much information I can't just give you one whatchamacallit, but I will have this in the show notes. But I want to show you what Dr. Fauci said in 2017. Wake up, people. They've been planning this whole thing since, if you have not watched Out of the Shadows, it's free to watch on YouTube. I think I had already been down that road, which this documentary touches on, how the entertainment system's rigged to keep you, you know, no, it's just too much, and I don't have the time to sit here and explain it, but watch Out of the Shadows. That'll be a good starter. The TV was meant to program. That's why they're called programs. The CIA, the FBI, all those people created the television to dumb us down. That's why like Netflix and chill. You Netflix and dummy. Now, of course, I said I watch Netflix. Yes, I do. I have it here. I'm gonna show you what I be watching because I believe in transparency. This is me right here, the little doggy, because I love animals. No, I don't watch that. Like I straight up Power Rangers, like all day long. Power Rangers, like this my show right here. I love me some Power Rangers, and I will watch every season. Am I ashamed of that? Hell no, I'm not. But anyway, neither here nor there. I'm ranting. Listen to what this man says. I don't know exactly where.
Given, as you heard from the introduction, that I have been around for a while and have had the opportunity and the privilege and the pleasure of serving in 5 administrations, I thought I would bring that perspective to the topic today, is the issue of pandemic preparedness. And if there's one message that I want to leave with you today, based on my experience, and you'll see that in a moment, is that there is no question that there will be a challenge, the coming administration, in the arena of infectious diseases, both chronic infectious diseases in the sense of already ongoing disease, and we have certainly a large burden of that, but also there will be a surprise outbreak. There will be a surprise outbreak. There will be a surprise outbreak. And I hope by the end.
That alone right there should raise your eyebrows or your little antennae and what? How do you know? And this, I don't speak politics, that language. If this administration, we're gonna see something crazy. This dude is friends with Bill Gates, the same guy that wants to vaccinate you, okay? And bring on ID 2020. Anyway, there's that. I'm gonna have this video down there. You can watch it over and over and over. Now, in my opinion, and most certainly everybody is entitled to their opinions. They're like elbows and buttholes. Everybody has them, but not everybody has an elbow. Not everybody has a butthole. But if you have a heart, you can have an opinion, because everybody got lungs and a heart that's alive. Anyway, so what was I going to talk about next? Because it's just, there's so much things to connect. Now, I mentioned something about a peanut butter sandwich. Now, that is not my analogy. I get it from Nicholson 1968 or something like that, his YouTube channel. But how he explains what's going on is like, think about a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. You could be called to be making the bread. Somebody else in another department is making the peanut butter. And the other person is getting the ingredients together to make the jelly. Now, by themselves, they don't know what they're doing. Oh, I'm just making jelly, or I'm just making peanut butter, or I'm the baker to bake the bread. But if you come out of, say those are 3 separate rooms, and if you bird's eye that, and you're the elite, you know that you have these people making a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. So let us connect the dots. Now, you have Bill Gates trying to, do I have this? Probably not. Not here, at least. Do I? I don't know. You got Bill Gates trying to do this ranchon. ID 2020. For what? Now, this is not the website that I used in my other YouTube video. Matter of fact, it's right here. So I have everything ready to go, because my brain, y'all know this TBI. Any day now. I have so many screens open, it's not happening. So he stepped down supposedly from his Microsoft CEO-ness to pursue ID 2020. And you can go ahead and read, of course. I'm gonna have this down in the show notes below so you can check me out, that I'm not just saying this to make you feel like there's no such thing as COVID. I can go outside and whatever, then boom, you get sick because you didn't check to make sure that I was not leading you to be deceived. So anyway, this is pretty much in a nutshell, just saying, you know, like, did you get your vaccines? You should get your certificate done digitally. So let's just say that you're trying to fly. And they're already saying that we can't go nowhere unless we've been vaccinated. And you can't go, even if you've been vaccinated, you got to show proof. So you're flying from point A to point B, and you do some Home Alone, you forget Kevin. Only Kevin is your vaccine proof that you got your proof. So you're just like, oh no, I can't fly. But wouldn't it be nice if you already had it a digital certificate somewhere that you just go, nope, and it pulls up, because we're dummies and forget about to breathe. I need the government to help me, to teach me how to breathe. Yes, I'm being sarcastic, because like y'all need to wake the fart up. Like just wake up, okay? So you press the thing and then doo-doo. All right, Miss Quesada, it looks like you have your thing. You're clear. You don't have COVID, so go ahead. Oh, by the way, I want to go get some refreshments. And since they've already gonna do away with the cash, because cash is dirty, you can get COVID from there. Okay. Not only that, oh, good, I have this already pulled up. Just so happens that you don't want to touch that money. So they're gonna come up with a way to combine ID 2020 with the freaking your wallet. I don't know about you, but that sounds like a prototype to the mark of the beast. Now, am I saying that this is the mark of the beast? No, but it can be. It's older sister's cousin, brother's dog's groomer. Can be. I'm glad I got all of these. That's from last week's whatchamacallit. Now, moving right along. This is gonna be down there. Now, this gentleman right here, Ken Peters. This might be a little long video, but that's okay. So here, I want you to listen to what he's got to say, okay?
New directives for global peace and the need to give up current citizenship for world citizenship. I must tell you, I've been raised a red-blooded American.
Let me rewind that a little bit so you can hear what he just said.
And the need to give up current citizenship for world citizenship. I must tell you, I've been raised.
He just said the need to give up current citizen to be a world citizen, like a global world. I believe the earth is flat. It's okay. It don't matter what shape of it could be, a circle, a square, a rectangle. They trying to make everything one. This dude right here, Bill Gates, I am a global citizen.
We want to ignite people's desire for connection.
But why?
Technology can bring people together and break down barriers.
And don't listen, go ahead and watch this video. And for once, don't let your brain just think, listen critically. They're giving this to you wrapped up in like a lollipop, rolled in cheesecake, rolled in, I don't know, Oreo cookies. Just listen. You can roll a piece of turd and all that yumminess. You gonna eat it? Just listen to what he has to say. They're always going to try to package something to you as it being, for the good of mankind. Always. And it's always been the exact opposite. Okay? Just think of it critically. We already know that, well, for some of us, that the book of Revelation, which yes, is in the Bible, speaks about a man. I'm not saying this man is Bill Gates, so please don't put words in my mouth, okay? Don't add to what I'm saying. That there's a man that's gonna step on the scene, trying to change times and seasons, and try to get the whole world under one rule of law. Now, the other day, I was on YouTube, because I stay on YouTube all the time, and this here, stay home and watch live videos. I don't know what the rest says, because whatever. So it says, one world together at home. Find it funny that isn't this a Pentagon? Or no, is that the stop sign? Whatever. New York City education. Then it says global citizen. Are you freaking kidding me? This dude right here, he had a dream when I was a baby, like a long, long time ago. And then fast forward to like 2000, either 1999, 2000, or 2001, he came out with this, talking about.
It's a red-blooded American. In 1981, large screen televisions? No. Your pizza parlors had those projector televisions, with the 3 different colors of the projected image. I travel a lot, all over the place. Now, what was strange about this is that this man's speeches and directions for the whole world had to do with new times upon us as human beings, new directives for global peace, and the need to give up current citizenship for world citizenship.
All right. This is a dream that he had. It lasted all night. Gonna have this down there. This is a 2-hour and almost 30-minute video. good stuff here. Now, if I fast forward to 52, oh my gosh, my foot fell asleep. Ah, I'm in pain. Okay.
I'll share with you tonight. This vehicle that I saw was black. They were on just about every corner of every main thoroughfare. The only difference is, like the one I saw in the airport today, I think it was today. Yeah, it was today. Man, I've really been going. Keep me in prayer. I just want to get home tomorrow. The one I saw in the airport today was amazing because it was almost the exact replica. And by the way, it's $94,000. This one was $72,000. These are the yuppie cars in California, by the way. I guess they make these, I heard, here in Indiana somewhere. Isn't it amazing? You Indianans are corrupting Californians. Never ceases to amaze me how we all corrupt each other. I really like this pointer. I'm having a great time with this thing.
Oh, come on, Cam.
Stan told me to be myself, so I'm about to loosen up here in about 5 minutes and really have fun. These vehicles that I saw were black, and the top here was hard. But this part right here, see how this comes down? This was not a hard back end here. This was a canvas or like a Jeep. You ever see the Jeeps, you know, without the hard tops? It was canvas here, and there was a man standing in the back. They were wearing very unusual outfits, by the way. They were wearing black uniforms and blue ball caps or blue helmets. The man that was standing in the back here was wearing a blue helmet. There was a big radio antenna or some sort of a device here and a flag on the other side. And this guy was standing up here, and it looked like he had some big gun standing here. Stan asked me if I thought it was a machine gun, and I said, yeah, I think it is, but
so
I don't know because I've never actually shot a machine gun or seen one.
So he said that he saw like soldier type people wearing blue hats and whatever. These things, these hats, I think he mentioned that it wasn't what at the time of his dream, this didn't exist, but then in the 90s, the UN switched to the blue caps, or I don't know. I haven't researched the years or whatever, but be that as it may, we got it now. So I'm gonna go ahead and X out of that. How I always do this. Can I move this over? Okay, yes. So X out of this. So and X out of this. And then he goes on to 55. Sorry, guys.
Computers, these onboard computers to have information. At the same time I saw this, I saw street light standards, the kind like we have in California that really, you guys are still kind of old-fashioned out here. You have those wires that go across intersections with old lights hanging on. We have these huge standards that hang out. On the top of them, I began to see cameras, little white oval-looking, hot dog kind of looking cameras. And
so now we already know that nowadays we have that. See this? That's the little oval looking hot dog cameras that he's talking about here on that side or on this side, wherever. I don't know if it's flipped or whatever. So we already know that this exists. So I'm going to go ahead and X out of that. Of course, I'm going to be moving fast. So I already went over the whole I am global and this. Now I want you guys to watch a video that MTV came out with. I don't remember what year. It was like the early 2000s or something like that. I don't know. I'll check and then, you know, I'll write it on the side. Now, with the whole, that one world global, whatchamacallit. Anyway, if you watch the video of Ken Peters' dream, at one point he said that we would not, okay, here, I have it here so you guys can hear. I don't want to do it in my own words. I have, all right.
Well, kind of parked at every corner. One thing that was happening is that you could not cross state lines at this time without papers. You had to have current papers to cross state lines. That was very, very strange to me. You know, matter of fact, if it hadn't have probably been for Prophecy Club.
So now, what I'm hearing from other people and other channels, I'm sorry I can't prove this to you because I'm an introvert. Like this whole social distancing, I've been doing it for years because when I finally woke up and matured, I didn't do the same things that I used to enjoy, but I couldn't find anybody that enjoyed the things that I currently enjoy. So I just became not a hermit crab, but I just stuck to myself, just me and Sansa, chilling. Anyway, plus I saying, yeah, I can't prove it, but there's some people. Yeah, are you serious? Oh, I'm gonna have to pause this. No. So I can't prove it. Just 1 second. So sorry. Anyway, he's saying that they're setting up at night, like, for instance, this whole curfew. Why do we have the curfew? It's not like you can catch COVID more at night when the sun's gone. I get it. Somebody told me, you know, it's to further stop the spread and people be hanging out and partying and all that kind of stuff. But sure, okay, that could be it too. I'm not going to argue with it because it's completely plausible. But it's also plausible that they're making it not illegal or whatever, but during this time of national emergency, they have these curfews so that they could start installing these checkpoints and no one would be the wiser because you're at home watching Netflix, rotting your brain on something that you don't even need to be watching. I know, Power Rangers, I know. But there's going to come a time, and it has already happened before, my laundry's done, that not England, in Germany around the 40s when they were starting to persecute the Jews and stuff, at first, I'm gonna have to watch, go into my history and pull up the video that I was watching, and she's a survivor, and she said that in the beginning, it was like, you need to prove your citizenship, whatever. So in the beginning, it was easy to prove, and then it started to get harder, and then you had to start, like, not only did you have to pay the person to provide the papers, you had to pay them extra on top of that because it was supplying the men. They knew that you needed these papers, and then it got to the point that it was getting really hard. Then they started moving them out of their neighborhoods and saying, oh, it's for your own security. I don't even know why. I don't know why. I wasn't back then experiencing all this, but they moved them out of their homes into these, it's not like communities. Then after that, they started building walls and keeping them out. And then after that, they started to wrangle them out in the streets. Then after, listen, if you don't know what happened during the Holocaust, you really need to not Netflix and chill. Anyway, so she said that after, like, they had already heard about the stories of people escaping through the woods and stuff like that. But this was the key factor that I knew, that no matter what a lot of us try to do to wake up others, it ain't never gonna work. Number one, they don't want to wake up because what are the implications of this being fake? Then, I mean, not fake, but like staged. But also, you can't believe it. It's not that you won't believe it. It's hard to believe that your own government would try to do something like this. So anyway, she said how some people that escaped would tell them the atrocities that were happening. They were getting hunted down in the forest and shot like animals and stuff. And she was like, what do? You can't believe that. She said that we thought they were exaggerating what was really going on. So let's go ahead and watch this, because why would MTV play this? Let me turn my microphone around so you can watch it. Isn't that interesting? Isn't it? Isn't it though? Now, I could understand if this was for like Holocaust remembrance or another, I have to see when MTV aired, if it coincides with the Holocaust, because then that would make sense. But we're going to move on. Now, I just wanted to remind you that there are some doctors that have been coming out saying that the CDC is asking them to falsify documents and to stretch the numbers, because here's the thing. They're telling us that there's deaths happening everywhere. I have not met anybody that has come down with this coronavirus. I don't know anybody that knows anybody. And the reason why I say this is because although I do have a couple of friends on either side of the continent that know someone that tested positive. I mean, they personally know these people. I'm sorry. It's not like their brothers, cousins, mothers, daughters, dog groomer, cat walker. Okay. They know these people for sure. These people tested positive. One of them passed away. Luckily, the other family is doing all right. But the way that they're testing is, I'll give you an example to kind of like, not dumb it down, but lay terms. The test is testing for a specific not genetic code, but I'll use that because I don't know I'm not a doctor. I can't use doctor terms. So it's going to come out positive. And oh, by the way, there's an 80% false positive, meaning that if there is, I forgot, 6 people that take it, 4 of them come back. That is, I forget the ratio, but let's say everybody has a heart. Everyone that's alive has a heart and it's beating. They're going to, and I know this is going to sound a little conspiracy theorist-ish, and I really don't care. They're going to make it to where they're telling you they're testing for the coronavirus or any virus, HIV, elemental P, all of those ABCs, right? Well, really, it's testing to see if you have a heart. And of course, you have a heart. So of course, it's going to come up positive. And that's going to be their time like, sorry, Miss Quesada, but it turns out that you have the COVID. So either you're going to have to take the vaccine, or we're going to have to force quarantine you, because there's already doctors in the UK saying that, oh, we have done a pretty good job of squashing it out here, but now we know that there's people in their house that have it. So now we're going to have to take them out of their house in a dignified manner and quarantine them somewhere else. Sounds like what they did with the Jews, and monitor them and make sure that we get rid of it that way. And I'm pretty sure I just left somewhere that I was going to talk about. Falsifying documents.
Scott Jensen joins us tonight at 702
Listen to what he has to say.
Talk about an interesting piece he put in the Star Tribune recently as well. So I don't know if you like Dr. Jensen, Senator Jensen, but thank you so much for joining us tonight, sir. And let's start with this. You and I communicated briefly yesterday via email, shortly on the phone. Have you yet seen the information that's going into these U of M models that the governor is using to make these decisions?
No, we have not. We have asked for those, and we were told by the governor's office that we would receive the data tonight. And so we're hoping to see what the assumptions are and what the data is. But at this point in time, we have not.
So I just want to be clear for our audience, sir. You've got a governor of a state that is making executive orders, stay-at-home orders that right now is cratering your economy. We don't know what data is being used, and yet you as a state senator, as a doctor, have not seen that data that's being used for our governor to make these decisions.
No, we have not. And
does that not concern you? I mean, shouldn't the people of Minnesota be screaming right now?
Well, I think, you know, Minnesota nice. We want to be good soldiers in that, but I think that people are starting to say, hold it now. We need to have a deeper understanding of this, and we're not getting it. I think that, well, in Minnesota, as a physician, I received an email last week from the Department of Health coaching me on how to fill out death certificates. And I've never really received coaching from the Vital Statistics Agency in terms of how to do a death certificate. But basically, I felt like they were saying, you know, you don't have to have a confirmed laboratory test for COVID-19 in order to make the death certificate be COVID-19. So,
wait. Sir, I don't mean to interrupt you, but that and what you just said, I think is critically important. Can you repeat what you just said, please?
Well, last Friday, I received a 7-page document that sort of told me that if I had an 86-year-old patient that had pneumonia but was never tested for COVID-19, but sometime after she came down with pneumonia, we learned that she had been exposed to her son who had no symptoms, but later on was identified with COVID-19, that it would be appropriate to diagnose on the death certificate COVID-19. Now, we've not done that. If someone has the pneumonia and it's in the middle of a flu epidemic, and I don't have a test on influenza, I don't diagnose influenza on the death certificate. I will say this elderly patient died of pneumonia.
I don't mean to interrupt you, but my heart is sinking right now as you're telling me this. You're a doctor. Why in the world would they be sending you out information to fill out death certificates, whether the person's been diagnosed with COVID-19 or not, but then to say in the death certificate, this person's death was caused by COVID-19? That does not sound right to me.
I went to the person in our office who does.
I'll have that pinned in the, sorry, sons, I'll have it pinned down there. Now, I'll also have this one, this lady right here. I already know she's a doctor because I did this, but just so that you guys could know, because I'm not going to try to deceive you. She is a doctor. Right here. This lady right here. She's a doctor. You can look her up and find her credentials, where she works, XYZ. There's another one, Dr. Tenpenny. Out the way. All these doctors are trying to wake people up, but people don't want to be woken up for whatever reason. You can YouTube her. She's talking about how none of this makes sense. There's other doctors that are coming out. At first it was 12 doctors, then another 10 doctors. All you have to do is YouTube doctors against COVID or whatever. Now, I can understand if it's 1 or 2 doctors, that's a bit skeptical, but when you have more in the medical community trying to oppose this or asking like, what is going on? Why are they pumping up this COVID when it's not even that serious? Now, I'm going to tell you right now, it is that serious if you old AF. If you old as a fart, and you fart in dust because that's how old you are, yes, of course, it might take your life. If you are somebody that didn't take care of yourself as a kid because your mom and dad was feeding you McDonald's and all you had was sodas all day long, and you took that into adolescence and adolescence into teenagers and teenagers into adulthood, I don't really know what the freaking thing is with that, whatever. Now you went from metabolic syndrome to insulin resistance, and then from there, diabetes, or however, whatever order that goes. And now you have underlying causes because not only are you overweight, you have diabetes, your freaking kidneys are messing up, and that gives you heart disease. Then, of course, if you catch a cold or a flu, you're going to die. So I'm not saying that this thing is not real. All I know is that with a regular flu, if it touches you, you're going to get it. You're going to get the pow-pow. Pow-pow for the baby. Anyway, this right here, if you want to screenshot it, I don't really feel like reading it because it's pretty much the same thing that the other doctor just said, that they're saying, hey, you know, if he broke his arm and ended up getting sepsis because it didn't heal properly or whatever, once again, I'm not a doctor, and his mother's cousin's brother's sister's dog walking groomer had COVID or tested or whatever, just put it down. I heard, now I'm just going to tell you what I heard. I would have to do my own due diligence to make sure that this is the right information that I'm getting, that for every death certificate that they fill out and put the COVID, they get $12,000. That's a lot of dang money if people are dropping like flies left and right per day. Thousands of people die. Then thousands of people are born. I'll have this pinned down yonder. And then I'll have this pinned down yonder too. And this. And especially this. So all I'm saying, people, is if you're out here trying to push the stay-at-home agenda, then you're doing more harm than good to everybody, because what they're really doing at the end of the day, they've been planning this for years now. And when I say years, I mean like before I was born. They want total control. I don't care if that sounds conspiratorial. I don't care if you call me nutshell or whatever. You're the crazy one that you can't see it. You can't see it. You can't see that this is all a ruse. I have not met not one person with the COVID. Not a one. And even if they did, you want the COVID, because the COVID ain't nothing. Every time I see somebody with that Hello Kitty mask, because that's what it looks like if you wear it all day long in the sun and you take it off, it look like Hello Kitty whiskers. With the gloves. First of all, you ain't even wearing the mask correctly, because it's down here and it can go up there if this was serious. Or you have it down here or up here or wherever. You're probably not in a real world situation where this thing is like worse than breathing underwater, that you're like gonna die for that as soon as it like in that scenario, you're gonna get it because you're not disposing of it. You're wearing it too long. You're not putting it right correctly. You're wearing the wrong one. These people, or the bandana people, or the hospital accordion looking one, you're not wearing it right. The gloves, you're not doing it right. You're touching everything, touching your phone with your COVID hands. Then you're just throwing it away, and then wake up. I'm gonna leave it here because I'm gonna end up getting super upset, and it's not towards you guys. I know you guys are looking for the truth. Again, I don't care what you call me in the comment section. Just don't call me late for lunch, dinner, breakfast, snack, all that stuff. I have a pretty thick skin. The military gave it to me, 14 years. I don't care. I'll put it to you this way. My father pretty much soft called me stupid for believing the earth is flat. I love him to death. And if that don't bother me, then I don't care what you think about me. All I can say is that if you don't want to do your own research, then I don't know what to tell you, because I'm going to tell you what's going to come around the corner. It ain't going to be that chick coming around the corner when she comes. Anyway, whatever. It's going to get to the point that they're going to do forced vaccinations. Then if you don't want to get your vaccine because you understand that it's worse for you, because they don't have to test to make sure that it's A-okay. There's been babies that died, babies that have never been the same, babies like my nephew that when he had his vaccine, he went from normal to being severely autistic. He can't speak. Whatever. Anyway, you're going to have to be forced vaccinated. And if you don't, then they're going to haul you out and put you in some kind of quarantine where they say it's for your own good, but really it's probably going to be worse conditions than chickens in the freaking coops. Then for those of you that do get the vaccine, it's going to be in digital form. And you have to papers, please, to prove that you got your vaccine to even go visit your mother down the next town or the next state or in the next country. If you can't see what's going on, then I don't know what to tell you. I do know that it's time, if you have not known or tried to know Christ, God, Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit, then you need to go into hyperforce right now. Everything that's going on right now, you can read of in Matthew chapter 24, Mark chapter 13, Luke 21, and just read the whole book of Revelation. Everything else is salt and pepper throughout the Old and New Testament. If you want to say that man wrote the Bible and none of this is real, I'm not going to sit here and argue with you, because this message is not for you. But if you have eyes to see and ears to hear, and not ears to see and and eyes to hear. Like, uncross it, take out what they've told you was going on, and just start thinking critically, okay? They're fudging the numbers to make this look bigger than what it is. They're using mannequins in place of real people that's died to make it look bigger than what it is. They've stopped church gatherings, but you can go to Walmart, molest everything, check out. You think that plexiglass is gonna help? No, because things can go around, right? They want to stop church services, because why couldn't they just do church services? Everybody is sick, 6 feet apart. You wear your gloves, you wear your mask. No, y'all need to wake up to what's really going on. El Diablo, it's that everything that happens in that last book in the Bible is slowly snowballing, and then next thing you know, you're gonna say, "What's that?" Like Mr. Magoo, that blind fart, and then you're gonna have a big ball of rolling turds. I don't mean to make it funny. I'm out, because I love you guys. Please be safe. Remember, don't take my word for it. This is the Reading Rainbow. Do your own research. Make sure that what I'm saying is jiving, okay? I do spend most of my time either reading, studying, or watching other doctors' videos or watching other people's videos. And then while they're speaking, I'm jotting stuff down. Like, you can't really see, like, I have these notes and stuff. And then go and make sure if I can find what they're saying is A, true, or B, false. If it's true, then I have to do more sub-research and see how deep that rabbit hole goes. I'm gonna leave it like that. I love you guys. Be safe out there, and pray, pray, pray.